Okay, now the manual actually says to press down and rotate this back and forth several times to make sure it's not sticking or binding in any way, and it's not. And once you've determined that, then the next step is to depress the valve and insert the guide rod, and that's going to have a new washer on it. So now I've got to find my guide rod here, which is right here. Okay, and the guide rod has this big, thick crush washer on it. So let's see what we can find in the new kit, little bag of tricks that may or may not have come with this. Looks like there's several non-copper colored crush washers in here, and I see a big thick fat one right there that looks like our suspect. So I haven't opened this bag yet. I'd say that's it right there. Alright, so that's going to go on here like this. And this gets inserted right through the back. The metering valve gets depressed slightly, and this threads right in. Now I'm not going to torque this down right away because I may actually end up wanting the ability to have the ability to take this rod back out. It might aid in installation of the spring. So for right now, I think the next move I'm going to make is I'm going to install this linkage back the way it was, which basically involves, let's see if I recall correctly how this goes in, like this. Let's see how I've got that oriented. That's so that this hole right here can hook right onto that, like so. And then, oops, bear with me a second. Take that back off. First, this front part right here has to hook in to this like fork-shaped part on the governor arm. Then the back. So, like that. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the front of that's in that forked area of the governor arm. And you can see that that's what's rotating the metering valve. Okay, well, I could put this crush washer in the discard pile. I checked them to make sure that they're free movement there. Now I need to assemble the governor spring, the spring retainer, the idle spring, and idle spring guide on the bench. This is the governor spring. Okay. There's our governor spring. This is either the idle spring guide or the spring retainer, I forget which, this little cone-shaped thing. That's going to go in like that. Then this little tiny spring right here is the idle spring. That goes in the back like that. And then this little piece right here, that's going to be the idle spring guide, I believe. There's some crud on this, so Okay. So I'll put this back together now. How's that little spring? Is that little spring clean? Nope, that little spring's got crud on it. Clean that off. Okay, that's better. That's clean down in there. And that's clean. Alright. Now, this is the tricky part. Now that we've got this all properly assembled, this all has to be installed in here. So what you're supposed to do is hook this spring over these two tangs right here, like so, and then compress it enough to get it to go onto this rod right here without sending the parts flying across the shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to back off the guide lower this into position, then bring the guide forward. And voila. Made that a lot easier. Recheck my linkage, make sure it's not binding. Okay, I like that. The little idle spring is working. Yep, okay. So now I feel confident that I can torque this down to the proper torque spec. That's the little guide rod here, or guide pin. Alright, so I just set my wrench to 108 inch-pounds, which should be about 9 foot-pounds. And torque that down. That seemed pretty easy. Here we go, go to the 10 foot-pounds, which would be 120 inch-pounds. Here's 120. Guess that's it.